What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Counterculture Podcast. I am here with, I'll let you guys intro yourselves.
I am Shanna Medeiros.
Anthony Medeiros.
How you guys doing? How's WADA been treating you?
It's been awesome.
Yeah?
It's been awesome.
Good time.
GoWad took first in the first event today.
Who did?
GoWad, Justin's team.
Hey,
So
nice.
we're
That's
excited.
awesome.
We're getting ready to go watch the swim event.
Yeah.
So
How exciting is it to go to all these events to watch your son be like the fittest guy ever?
Awesome. Makes us proud. I mean,
Yeah?
we did a good job. We pat ourselves on the back every time we see him.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Do you mind holding that up just a little bit closer? This right here.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah. Cool. Where are you guys from originally?
California.
California?
Northern California.
Okay.
And Northeast California.
Huh?
Northeastern California, I mean funny.
Oh,
Not too close to California.
Gotcha. So, yeah, we're from the Midwest. Miami's been like a little bit different for us. How do you guys feel about Miami?
It's nice. The vibes are good. It's a
Yeah.
fun event, man.
This
Yeah.
is a great
Awesome.
comp. They do a great job. It's a fun event. Everybody's very happy here, very upbeat. So we love coming.
How long have you guys been coming to Wadapalooza? How many years has it been?
Justin started competing as a teen here, so I think 2016.
Wow, okay. So how long has Justin been in CrossFit in total? How long have you been doing it?
2012.
Only 11 years.
Wow.
11.
How did you guys get him involved? What kind of sports was he in? This is her?
Yep, she's the
We
one.
did football and wrestling, and a gym opened up in our city. We live in a really small town. A gym opened up, and I went to check it out, and they gave me like 3 weeks free, and I'm like, why? And they're like, we're just like super, like we're involved in fitness. We want you to be healthy. We want you to like it. And so I started doing it, and then I would go home and tell him about it. He was playing sports and stuff. I'm like, I really think you would love this. And he's like, yeah, right, Mom. You know, he was not in high school, but practicing with the high school team. So they were like training 2 hours a day at the gym.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I did a 7-minute workout and I can barely move. And he's like, I don't believe you. And I'm like, just try it. And I knew he would love it when he started. So he did it for a couple years just to stay, just to increase his ability in football and wrestling.
Gotcha. I'm gonna just fix this real quick, just a little bit. Just point it up towards it. There you go. Cool. So is he kind of like, my mom's doing something more hardcore than me, I gotta go show her who's boss type thing?
Oh no, he didn't think it was more hardcore than him, but I definitely took convincing, and then I got him to come in, and he was hooked. As soon
Good.
as he came in, he was hooked.
What was it like his first time going in? Was he just like rushed? Was he like, Mom, why'd you make me do that?
Oh no, he like loved it. Like, well, you know, CrossFit, it's a great community. And
Yeah.
there was a lot of older boys that were in it from wrestling, and then just to come in and be able to do the workouts. And I think he looked forward to CrossFit after practice every day. You know?
Yeah.
He really liked it.
Oh, so he would go from practice to CrossFit? That's tough.
Yeah.
That's different. To football and wrestling? You said he's wrestling, right?
Yeah, in high school, yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
he was going to wrestle in college, but when he got to college, they dumped the program. So he's like, well, what am I going to do? And I'm like, just CrossFit.
Did he go to college?
Yeah.
And he finished?
Yeah.
You got a degree.
He
So-
went to Boise State.
Okay, how old is Justin, by the way?
24.
24? Oh, he's young. I'm 30. I feel like an old man when
You are young.
Yeah.
Talking to us.
I know I'm young, but I like feel old kind of. I have a kid. I had one at like 25 years old, so I feel I'm above my age, you know. So when I look at these young kids on the field, I'm like, God, I wish I had all the energy that you guys have. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, when he was in college, when he got out of college, when was the or maybe it was before, when was the realization that like he could take this CrossFit thing further? How was Dad feeling about it? Were you worried about it? Were you worried about it? Or was
As
it kind
parents
of?
were always worried about it, but I think everything happens for a reason. I always say you go to college to wrestle and you don't wrestle.
Yeah.
And he started CrossFit, and started getting serious about CrossFit, and
So
it started pretty much in college.
He made a goal in college that before he graduated from college, he wanted to at least make the games. That was his goal, you know. So he always worked really hard. He always got really good grades. So we're like, you don't really have to get a job as long as you're working hard, training. If you're out partying and screwing around, then of course, yeah, we're gonna make you do something else so that you focus. But he was always super focused. So when they dumped the wrestling program, he was like, well, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, just CrossFit, like, see what you can do. And so he changed coaches, and that was probably the biggest game changes in his career.
So CrossFit at this point, though, like, you guys were able to put in perspective that this could actually be a financial, like, option for him, that it could, like, support him?
No, it costs us a fortune. It's expensive.
It's really expensive.
It cost us a fortune when he was young.
Yeah.
But not for him to compete, but for us to, we wanted to go watch him and, you know, follow him. And his first year, and every year since he's qualified, they changed the game, you know, like it was easy. It was regionals, you know, it was California, not easy. It was California, and then he competed in 2018. He was still in high school, but he competed at regionals. He's like, and he did pretty decent. And he's like, I think I could do this. And I was like, okay. Well, then then they changed the whole span, and it became Canada, California, you know, that whole group. And so he's like, okay, so it's gonna be a little tougher, but okay, you know. And then moved to Idaho, but still stayed in the same region. And then they dumped regionals for sanctionals.
Okay.
And that's when he got his new coach, and we're like, okay, well, make a game plan, decide which sanctionals you want to do, and we'll support you. We won't be able to go, but we'll like. And so they had a game plan. We're going to do a regional every month, I think, until he qualifies. So then he was in college. He calls me and he's like, okay, I decided my first regional. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, Ireland. And I'm like,
Ireland?
That's a bucket list for us, yeah.
You had to fly across the world to go compete?
That's where he qualified.
Yeah.
Wow,
but
that's cool.
That's where he qualified in 2019.
Okay. So I'm super...
Or 2020, yeah. 2019.
Got it. I'm super unfamiliar with how CrossFit was that far back. I've only been like doing CrossFit for 3 years. I like to talk to athletes about like things outside of CrossFit to get a shape of the mindset and stuff. So regionals, like, could you just sign up at that point, or did you have to qualify and then?
No, you had to qualify, and then from every regional, I think they took 5.
Every region, yeah.
But you could just pick a regional to go to. It didn't matter.
No, you had to be where you lived and where you trained.
Oh.
So he was Western, you know, at first it was just California, and then it became the whole Western Canada, California,
Yeah, got it.
You know, I'm terrible at geography, but then they dumped that whole program, and then you went to sanctionals. So you had to go, and you had to take first at a sanctional to make it to the games. And the sanctionals were all over the world.
Wow.
So then he decided, well, okay, my first one's going to be Ireland. And I'm like, that's on my bucket list. I don't care if we have to mortgage our house, we're going.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I think
And
the
we
question
did.
you had asked, and we got off on a tangent, is about CrossFit is no matter what sport it was he was in, as long as he was having fun and he was serious, we were behind him all the way, so we'd do whatever it takes. So when he went to college, it was CrossFit. No matter what, we'd make it happen as parents.
That's awesome.
Because he was focused, keeps him out of trouble,
Yeah.
and not that he's never in trouble, but
he doesn't
he was
drink,
always
he never has. He
Really
doesn't eat
focused.
fast food. He's just been like super focused.
I mean, so that's got to be amazing as parents, right? He's not a drinker or a partier or anything like that. You're probably like, yeah, go to college.
I think we
whatever.
adopted him because we're the opposite.
You guys like to have a good time.
Well, we have 2 daughters. They kind of like, I was like, oh, I don't know, one more, okay. And God was like, okay, here's an easy one.
Turns out to be a gift from God, right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
When did it become real though that this could be like a source of income for your son and he could support himself on it?
When he made it to the 2020, so 2020 was all different because it was COVID.
Yeah.
A lot of it was online, but then he qualified to be one of the 5 to go to Aromas.
Yeah.
And I remember his coach told us two things. No, actually in Ireland. When he qualified for the games, his coach told us two things. He will never have to buy another pair of shoes, which I didn't get, but if you see a shoe closet, you will.
I've seen it on YouTube.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
And he needs an agent, and I'm like, an agent?
For what?
Yeah. For what?
Yeah. Like,
So
why?
That was a whole new, since then it's been a whole new.
That's cool. Were you skeptical at first? Were you kind of like, I don't know, maybe you should think about getting a job at some point, or you're just like full trust in his coach and in him?
He was still in college, so we're like, just keep
He was
going.
in college during the 2020 games?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He graduated.
And 2021.
He graduated 2 years ago, a year and a half
I think he
ago.
didn't graduate till after the, he
Wow,
was
no
still in
way.
college,
That's got to be a lot to balance as a college or a college student and preparing for the CrossFit Games. I mean, these guys are training for like 6-7 hours a day.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
Was there ever a moment in time where like you're kind of worried about him? He's getting stressed out and like things are just happening weird, or?
No, he was in a good community. I mean, everybody's helping out. He was focused. He kept his head on straight.
Good at balancing it. He's got good support group.
Yeah.
Not that there's not stress. There's definitely stress.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, for you guys, probably a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Maybe more so than him.
24 hours in a day. If he goes to school, 6 of them, you still got how many left?
Don't put me on a spot like that. 18.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's plenty of time, man.
That's awesome. I remember actually 2020 was like the year I started CrossFit myself. And so I actually watched that games, and they were talking about how he was like an underdog or something. I remember watching the live feed where he was like running against Matt Fraser in the mountains. I'm like, okay, I kind of know who Matt Fraser is. I'm like, this dude is keeping up with him. And then Castro told them to like turn around or whatever. Matt's like,
Yeah.
I was like, I thought that was hilarious, dude. So
Yeah.
that's cool. Well, how does it feel? Last question. To have one of the fittest men on earth as your son, and how did it feel the first time that he won the CrossFit Games?
Absolute amazing experience. There's absolutely nothing like watching your children achieve their dreams like this. It was a dream for him just to go to the games.
Yeah.
And for him to win the games. But when you see the hard work and the sacrifice, and you know what he's put in, I know what he's given up to get there, and it's probably one of the best.
I mean, it's a win-win for the parents, but it's also grandparents. It goes to these communities with them every day. It's
Coaches, families.
It's just it's just incredible, and hopefully it's just getting started.
Yeah, heck yeah. Well, I can see in your guys' faces that you're super excited about your son, and that's amazing. I'm glad for you guys. I'm happy for you guys. We're all proud of him. I'm a fan of Justin, so thank you guys so much for being on the podcast, even giving me a short like 10-15 minutes. I really appreciate it. And
thank you.
Yeah,
We're
like,
You can edit me out and I won't be upset. So.
I don't know if I can do that, man, but I'll try. Thank you guys.
All right, thank you.
That was
Awesome.
awesome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'll grab that.